impact lives. Lives. We tell God, thank you for Dr. Tom to giving us this opportunity to upgrade our knowledge. We just said, thank you, Lord. We are grateful. We are very, very grateful. And open our minds that we would learn and walk away from this seminar with knowledge that will impact our lives. It's a life changer. And we just said, thank you, Lord, for everything. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I want to welcome you all to Prestige Croissant Consulting Firm platform, where we've been presenting to you the 5 days online class on the topic of executive diploma in sustainability, leadership, and corporate responsibility. Can you hear my voice? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to welcome you all. I believe that we're going to have a wonderful time today, and I believe that we will all learn from this, and we are all ready. Thank you so much, Emin, for opening your camera. Thank you so much, Gerald, for opening your camera. Thank you so much, Patient, for opening your camera. And I also want to appreciate Ambassador Agnes for opening your camera. Now I feel safe that I'm speaking to a human being and not robots. Okay, so let's give honor to whom honor is due this morning. I want to say thank you so much for this great opportunity to share my inspirational nugget of wisdom on executive diploma in sustainability, leadership, and corporate responsibility. Like I always say to you, I am an inspirational leader, speaker, and mentor, and also global advisor. I'm also the president and director of Y.Y.C.I International United Kingdom, which also has expanded to other various countries as a worldwide. So we have Y.Y.C.I worldwide, our global family. I also want to seize this opportunity to thank Dr. Lonsing Tom, the founder of Prestige Croissant Consulting Firm, PCCF, and the organizers that are working behind the scene with him to make sure that we all are comfortable to learn together this morning. I also want to say thank you to you all, our great and special leaders on this platform. I believe that most of them are from Liberia under the leadership of Ambassador Agnes. I'm still waiting for my Nigerian people to wake up and join us very soon. So I want to say thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your willingness to want to learn from me. And I want to say thank you for coming back, because if my teaching is boring and you are not gaining anything, I'm sure that you won't even bother to join us today. So I want to say thank you for trusting me and enjoying my inspirational nugget of wisdom. So that is just me and what I do. And these are the books that I have written, and other people, including my husband and the Y.Y.C member, have written together. And we've published all these books, and you can get them from www.amazon.com. You can see I just woke up. Body not be stone, no. And we also have an opportunity to train people to become co-author and author of any books that they desire to write. And we can arrange for them and help them and give them good advice on how they can publish their books. So today is another day, and we are going to be studying on video 3. And we just continue where we started yesterday. So that is where we're going to start today. So let me see where we are. Hold on a second. Okay, give me a chance to just check something up. But meanwhile, I want to welcome you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. Francis, thank you for joining us. Any other person I've not mentioned the name? Somebody is called M. I don't know the full meaning of M, but we appreciate you joining us today. Agbedium Roof, thank you for joining us. I guess that one is from Nigeria. So we are waking them up. Thank you for joining us today. Maybe you will need to readjust your dressing, Agbedo, if you can, and that would be great because we don't want to expose you to the world with your appearance. So please do that quickly. We are live also on Facebook. So just to let you know, and we are also recording it for YouTube and other places. So thank you so much. Alfred, thank you for joining us today. And I've seen new faces today. I'm blessed. I'm impressed. So please still call on others to come and join us so that we can learn together. Joseph Onye Chakachi, thank you so much for joining us today. Adam, thank you so much for joining us today. And I believe that on behalf of PCCF, because I believe that our president is having an issue with the connectivity. So on behalf of PPCF, we welcome you all. Feel free, relax yourself, and let's learn together. Now, the first question, like I said, I will ask few questions before I get into today's topic. And that will depend if we need to move on or we need to just call it a day. I can stop at any time. I have that power. Okay. Now, the first question I need to ask you was the last thing being taught yesterday evening. Can somebody just share in a few statements, not too much, tell me the benefits of active leadership for sustainability? The benefits. I only need two from each of you. The benefit, that was the last thing being taught yesterday evening. The benefit. You want me to call their name or do you want to answer straight away? The benefits of active leadership for sustainability. Remember, it's being recorded and it's on live. So our great leaders on Facebook are watching you. So the benefits, there's no wrong or right. Don't be afraid. You are building your confidence globally. So don't be afraid at all to answer. I'm sure you were there yesterday. So the benefits of active leadership for sustainability. Who is ready to break the record? Who is ready? Quick, because we have a lot to do. If I don't have any answer, then I can just call it a day. Maybe you've known it all and you don't need us to continue with the program. The benefits of active leadership for sustainability. Who is going to answer me? All right.
Can I raise my hand?
Okay, patience.
I want to say something.
Please raise your hand so that I will know who wants to say something. Okay. All right, let's start with Patient Diallo.
Yeah. Okay, for what I gathered yesterday, from yesterday's training,
Yeah.
in my own view,
Of benefits.
some
Benefit for
benefit,
leadership. Yeah.
the benefit that a leader should have is a leader will acquire is to help grow the institution, that
Yeah.
is the organization that you are in, and also help to boost your business. Because if you have a good dealership style, you will attract investors to come to your organization, and you will attract customers, and you will have clear understanding of your business.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay. I really appreciate that. You see, you just have to build that confidence and say what you know, and then others can learn from you. Sister Ruth, Medium. Yes, you are raising your hand. Okay.
Good morning, ma.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, ma. I think I'm going to answer based on my own perspective of what I've read
Were you
so
in the
far.
class? Were you in the class yesterday?
No, but I did a recap this
Okay.
morning.
Okay. So tell us.
The benefit of an active leader in the society or in every organization, so to say, it's quite a number, but you said we should list two.
Yeah.
When a leader is active in a society, it motivates his or her follower. It gives them a room for creation. It gives them a room, everybody wants to be, if I try this thing, my leader will understand. If I don't do it right, she will correct me. He or she stands as a motivational factors to his or her follower.
Okay.
And there will
the
be
second one.
creativity. Yes, ma. And there will be creativity in, therefore, this is just my few perspective, ma.
And your
Thank
few
you very much.
perspectives is very, very right, because you
Thank you
made
very much,
mention
ma.
of motivation. If you
Yes,
are
ma.
going to be a leader, a sustainability leader, you need to put on the cap of a motivator. So you are motivating your people, because sometimes there might be challenges, there might be problems or other things like that. And then the leader will be the ones to motivate them to say, yes, we understand there's a problem, but we can do it together. We can achieve our goals together, because every problem we are facing right now is just a phase. It's just for us to be stronger, to be wiser, and also to be better. So yes, I agree with you. And also increasing. It increases the productivity, the performances. It's also it brings creativity, because out of challenges is always creativity, because it leads you to want to do more. And then the ideas of, okay, shall we do it this way? Should we add this to it? Should we turn our perspective to somewhere else? Should we add this one? Should we embrace these ones? So these are creativity thinking, because you are bringing, despite the fact of any challenges you might be facing, and you are looking ahead because you are a sustainability leader. So you want to make sure that at least what you're doing is right, and it's also in line of what you want to perform or operate in your society. So you are very right. Thank you so much. And
Thank you very much.
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I think one of our brothers also mentioned they want to contribute. The voice I heard, but I didn't see the picture. Who wants to just tell us briefly the benefits of active leadership for sustainability? One man did say they want to speak. Who is the person? Is it Joseph? Is it Honorable Francis? Who says that they want to say so? Please, you can give up on us. Let me see. Is that man going to speak? No?
Adam.
Okay,
Adama.
Adama, okay. Contribute to us, please. Benefits.
Yeah. The benefits for an active leader, from my own understanding from the notes, it have to do with creating a strong vision. Vision, which means you have to communicate with your teammates about the vision of the organization or the business. And also motivating employees. You have to motivate your employees, tell them that there's a great future ahead for this organization or this business. Setting goals and example. You should be an example for the goals that you are setting for others. Yeah, that's my understanding from the training yesterday.
And that is very, very important. Thank you so much. You made mention of communication, having vision, displaying or presenting your vision clearly for others to understand. Because when they have a full understanding of their vision, they have the ability to contribute, they have the ability to perform well, they have the ability to work together as a team. So thank you so much for contributing that. Any other person, so that we can move on? Right, let's welcome Dr. Lonson Tom to address us before we move on. Dr. Lonson Tom, do we still have issue with the connectivity?
Once again, good morning, Your Excellency.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
good morning. Excellency Agnes, I really throw a salute from the Nigerian ground. You know, I greet you all. I greet all my friends, my brothers over there. Yeah, let me see this opportunity to appreciate God Almighty that have bring us this far from Monday till today. We have not received any bad information apart from the information we saw on our platform. One of us that lost his loved one. We pray for the soul that have departed. The Lord should guide and console. I want to thank you for coming this far. It hasn't been easy, but we appreciate God. But please, before I will move further for my brief speech, I want to thank our big mommy, Her Excellency Professor Dr. Elizabeth Lucas. Mama, more grace to your elbow.
Amen.
The Lord strengthen you. More wisdom to your bone, to your vein, everything about you. The Lord should lift you up. You have done so much for PCCF, and PCCF owe you a lot. Thank you so much for adding great value to PCCF. Thank you.
Thank
Then
you.
our friends, today will be the last day of this class, and we didn't plan it, but God Almighty touched our mama to continue in this Zoom this morning, and we are going to wrap it all to a close this evening by 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we are going to end this class finally tonight on our WhatsApp class. Immediately after we end the class, I think we will start working on releasing the certificate. Just as we said earlier, that the certificate will only be given, and we mean it this time around because we want to see how many of those that take these classes serious. It's not all about free. It's not, our mama used to say that it's not all about collecting the certificate, because a lot of us have noticed that mostly from our Nigerian brothers and sisters, all what they want to know is to elevate their CVs. Keep collecting. I was so surprised yesterday, somebody coming to chat me up privately. Please, sir, include my name for the certificate. So all what the person is after is the certificate, not to learn. So this time around, we are going to be strict on this. We are not giving out this certificate to those that have not attended any of these classes, mostly on this Zoom. We know why we put this. We want to see those that really value these courses, this class, these teachings. Tomorrow now, you will have opportunity. As I speak with you now, there is a job opportunity on this particular course. Job opportunity that will pay huge amount of money. And if we throw it out now to PCCF platform, you'll see a lot of people sending in their CVs. What will they be able to defend? How will they be able to speak? Like our mama said that she has coached a lot of people on interview, on how to pass their interview. How will they pass the interview? These are the areas that we are looking at. Please, I beg on you, see this opportunity as a golden opportunity for you. Do not miss it. After this class, we will all rejoice. God bless you all. Let me leave it for our mama to continue. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so you just heard from the president's mouth about you joining and also learning this great thing so that you can put it in practice. It is what you've understood that you will now put it in practice. So, and like I always say, which is true, that certificate is just to get you there. Now the application is what is going to make you the application is what you are going to gain and earn for your living. So let me just start with this. I'm impressed with the answers I've been given. I'm impressed with that, but just let me remind you this, and then we can just start today's section. Thank you so much for those that have really responded to my questions, because I know that these are the things that we need to be doing by recapping and beyond and understand what we've been taught. In conclusion, hear this clearly. The main reason why we are doing this diploma is for us to have better understanding. I remember yesterday, I actually asked how many elements, or do you know of any elements of sustainability? Some of you answered human, social, environmental, economics, and cultural sustainability. So every leader must understand this in order for them to apply it to their society or even in the organization. So all these elements can be applied to our everyday lives as well in a variety of ways. For example, to practice social sustainability, we can prioritize inclusivity and community empowerment by engaging with our neighbors, our society. Remember when I was answering one of our questions yesterday, this is what we are referring to. So if you can engage your neighbors, your society, even your family, and also be prepared to do voluntary for your local causes, because through your voluntary, you are contributing. Yes, your own time will come. The time you will earn money and make profit will come. But when you do voluntarily, it's an eye opener, and it's for you to gain more skills and to work within the team. Also supporting small businesses that are close to you. Because yes, you have a big dream and you are not there yet. Or maybe you are still looking for resources for your business to come alive. Within that period, work with those that are around you to support them, because the more you can support others, the more others can support you. The more you can sponsor others, the more the sponsors will come to you. What you give out is what you will receive. So that is the principle. So you go out of your way instead of you roaming around, joining the groups and making noise and complaining and lamenting. Look for any organization, any small business that's around you, working there, and just offer yourself as a volunteer. I can guarantee you that by the time you finish your voluntarily, job will be waiting for you, contracts will be waiting for you, opportunities will be waiting for you. I told you about my own story yesterday as well, for you to understand. Then for environmental sustainability, we all need to contribute to this. We can make conscious choices about the products we consume every day. Buy what you need, not what you want, and avoid wastage. And the energy we use when you are not using your electricity, switch it off. Although in a certain part of the country, even if you need electricity, it still take off. But make use of whatever you have. Opting for researchable bags, water bottles, and utensils. Be a good citizen of the land by not throwing away your used bottles using it to pollute the street, using it to pollute the road and other things. Be your neighbor's keeper by making sure that the environment is cleaned. And these are all these so simple things. You can apply it also in your lives. We don't depend on government to do everything for us. We are all human beings. We are the people of the people. So these governments are just opportunity to be leading us, but we also need to contribute to it. It's a work of, when we're talking of sustainability, it's about cooperation. It's about collaboration. It's about working together. So then another one is looking at economic sustainability. We can prioritize long-term planning and avoid living beyond our means by creating a budget. I believe that some of you creating your budget, saving money, Don't just eat up all the money you are gaining every day. Even the, what they call it, even the pocket money, even all the money given you left and right, you have to be wise in using them. So saving, creating budget, and investing in sustainable goods and services. So this is how you as a leader can contribute to this sustainability. And then finally, to practice cultural sustainability, we can be open-minded and respect towards different cultures and beliefs and practices by embracing diversity, equality, and many more. Remember that even this particular one, that even and all these ones, if you look at the SDG, 17 SDG of United Nations, they also mention on it. So as a leader, you need to be contributing to the welfare of the nation. And then finally, to practice cultural sustainability, we can be open-minded and respect towards different cultures. So like I've said before, engaging in dialogue, promoting diversity and inclusivity. By incorporating these principles into our lives, we can help create a sustainable future for ourselves and future for generation. If you can take care of yourself, if you can manage yourself, if you can direct yourself and even rule yourself, then you'll be able to do justice to others. And in any position you find yourself, always prepare ahead. That is why this program is very important, because you are preparing yourself. You understand? You are learning. You are gaining knowledge. You are growing your mindset, and you are ready to take up any opportunity or positions that is available out there. We also talk about right from the beginning, if you don't know, we talk about that the sustainability leadership is a management approach that provides solutions for environment, social, economic, cultural, human, and also the challenges that is facing the world. It acknowledges the leadership as an influence process and deconstructs silo to make leaders work collaboratively for change and transformation. I also mentioned yesterday that for you to experience or to contribute to the change, your mindset needs to be renewed or be transformed or even grow. So that is that. Right. I also made mention yesterday about the sustainability leadership competency, which is very important. I mentioned the key competency in sustainability. Number one is system thinking competence. Number two, future thinking competence. That is anticipatory. Then the third one is value thinking, and then strategic thinking. Then we talk about the interpersonal, which I just mentioned, collaboration. And then we have the integrated problem solving. That means how you can use one or two methods to solve the problem. And then the references. So the more you read, the more you research, the more you are developing yourself, you can be a sustainability leader. So let's move on with this. Managers and leaders face a large gap between sustainability ambitions and reality on the ground. Between the sustainability ambitions and the reality on the ground. How do you understand this statement? What I try to understand is that while you are working to sustain, to survive, there will always be certainty, there will always be one challenge or the other. There will always be something that will just come all your way. How do you balance? How do you stand in gap? How do you move on, even in the place of odd? How do you move forward, even when there's distraction, there's discouragement, there is disappointment? How do you, because remember, your focus is to sustain. Your focus is to sustain. So how do you move forward? So probably we'll talk about it during this section today. Let me use this opportunity to express my gratitude to one and only one, Ambassador Y.Y.C.I Chitwekere. He's always joining our program, and he always join early. And I will implore Dr. Lonson to please get his name and also give him a certificate. He was here since Wednesday on Facebook. So let's move on. I also want, like I said to you, that you don't know it all. You also need to borrow. As long as you acknowledge them in your statement or your writing, you can borrow another's ideas. So now this morning, as I'm teaching on, I want to borrow from Philip Dawson to talk more about ESG leadership. So ESG leadership is the ability to guide an organization towards environmental, social, and governing goals that align with its vision, value, and strategy. ESG leaders need to have a deep understanding of the challenges and the opportunities that the green transition presents, as well as the skills and the competency to drive change and innovation in their organization. Three things that have come out from this statement. Number one, like I said yesterday, you need to have a deeper understanding of the challenges that the organization is facing. If you don't have the understanding of the problem or the challenges the organization are facing, how do you want to bring solution? How do you want to bring ideas? So that is why when you enter into any organization and they have placed you on a high rank, your job is to look at the loophole, to look at the way they are operating, to look at how we are doing, either they are falling or they are rising. And I want to suggest one of the analytical tools that you can use is SWOT analysis. That means the strength of the organization or the company, the weakness, the opportunity, and the threat. Because you can see that as you are working, the same thing you are doing, you are operating on, other organizations might do it better. So that is where the competitive comes in. But if you can learn and study your strengths, your weakness of the organization, and the threats and the opportunity, you'll be able to get an idea of how you are going to solve the problem for them. So, but before the problem, you need to listen attentively. You need to be watchful, and you also need to put your ears on the ground. If they have placed you as a strategy manager or director, if they have placed you as an advisor, if they have placed you as director or strategic director. So that is the job. All this I've mentioned is just another way of saying they are sustainability leaders. So you need to understand the challenges and also look at the opportunities that you can embrace. Also, your skills. Sometimes we think we know it all. Sometimes we think we have enough skills. Maybe at that time, there is another particular skills that you need to develop in order to upskill your own ability and the competency. Remember, I mentioned those with you earlier on today. So to drive change and innovation in your organization as a leader. So here are some steps to follow to become an effective ESG leader. Number one, educate yourself. Educate yourself on the science, the policy, the best practice of ESG. So we are just using the ESG as an organization now, but you can apply it to your own organization or the organization you are working with. So number one, educate yourself. In another word, Dr. Elizabeth, we always say, keep learning, because learning is living. Learning is lifeline. Every leader must keep learning. They must not stop, because things are changing every day. So that is why you need to educate yourself. That is why you see all the directors coming on the table. The only job for directors is for them to come to the table and share their ideas, their opinions, and what they've learned that can enhance the operation of the organization. So you can start by reading some books, go to websites, find research, do other things. You can also take online courses like you are doing now and attend webinars. Almost more than 50 people register for this webinar. Let's assume that, well, some of them might have problem with probably they are working during the day. Some of them might have, electricity or data problem. Some of them, something else, like yesterday, one of us lost one of the relatives, which definitely, if somebody is in bereavement, you don't expect the person to concentrate on the class. So yes, we understand there will be, but what about many people that just don't care? They just want to register so that they can add their names to the certificate and collect certificate. No, that's a bad attitude. So on your own, you need to work. Like anything we say within 1 hour, it's not enough for you to say, yeah, you've known it all. So after this, you still need to study, you still need to research, you still need to do other things. Let me pause to say that it would be nice if somebody using Infinite X6525 change it to name, because we are not going to add you to this class. Please, very important. Because there was a time that somebody used one phone or something like that, only to realize that the person joined the classes and then messed up our day that day. So that is why we need to know who is joining us. Please change that mobile phone to your name, because you have a name. So let's move on. The second one is assess your organization's current performance and identify the gaps and areas for improvement. You can use framework and tools such as the Global Reporting Initiative, the Sustainability Accounting Standard Board, or the Task Force on Climate-Related Finances Disclosure to measure and to report on your impact and risks. So while you are being where you are as a leader, as a sustainability leader, you need to also assess not only organization, you might be a leader of a group or a club or an organization, or even be a leader in your society. So you need to assess the current performance in that place. You can also benchmark your organization against your peers and competition. Yes, an industry standard to see where you stand and what you can learn from others. That is where sometimes networking is good, collaboration is good, partnership, even cooperation. So you can gauge. I'm not saying that you should compare yourself. I'm not saying you should compete with them. And I'm not saying that you should you should copy them. But there is always guaranteed that if you are doing something great, people will copy you. But don't be the one copying them. Be the pioneer, be the front row, and be the drive. But still, you can learn from them and see where you can apply and become better performers in your organization, because we don't know it all. The third one is develop a clear and compelling vision and strategy for your organization. Yes, they just employed you. Yes, you just started a business. In respect, it might be small business, it might be big business, it might be sole trader where you alone are doing the business, or you might be a partner with others, or you might be built up into corporation. So you need to have a vision. And then another thing is that even when you started, or even when you joined that organization that has been existing, doesn't stop you in having a new vision and strategies. Because they might be having a strategy, they might be operating on a strategy that is no more valuable. It might be obsolete. So that is one reason why you should make yourself also a visionaire. Because maybe what you just give them, the ideas you just, and the strategies you just plan for them might even be working for them. And I can move them from one level to another level. So develop a clear and compelling vision and strategy as a director and any form of a leadership. I mean, like we're talking about the visions, we're also talking about strategy, but you have to be in line. You have to be in line with the mission and the values and the objective of that organization. You need to articulate why this organization matters. What are your short-term and the long-term goals? How you plan to achieve them? How are you going? Yes, you've set up the goals. Now you need action plan. You need action plan. How are you? Remember, you're not the only one to carry out all the strategies. You need to delegate. Your own is just to bring these ideas. You are the manpower. You are the one on top. So whatever strategies that you have brought to this organization is what the managers and other people will implement. So you need to ensure that your strategy is integrated into your own overall business strategies and operations, and that is supported by adequate resources, policies, and incentives. This next one is engage. You know, we cannot walk away from this communication. It's very, very important. If I want to suggest today, I would say that communication is the key. So the next point is engage and communicate with your stakeholders on your journey. You are in a journey. The stakeholders want to know how far you've come and where are you going? How are you going there? So you need to involve and consult with your internal and external stakeholders, such as your employees are your stakeholders, your customers are your stakeholders, your investors, your suppliers, your regulators and communities, and to understand their expectation. You are here to solve the problem, and your problem is their expectation, their needs, and also be willing to get a feedback from them. So when you communicate, you also need to, that is why Dr. Lonsing can give you an assignment, because he's been teaching you since Monday. Now he wants to be satisfied that he has delivered successfully. So he wants to make sure that the 50 people on the platform have understood what he's taught them, because that is his own take home. So that is why it is very important that you answer all those assignments. You also need to communicate your vision, your strategies, and progress clearly and transparently, and demonstrate your own commitment. Remember, I said yesterday, if you have a vision, if you understand that vision, if you present your vision, the next thing is action to action. And for you to take action, you want to see what the leader is doing because he's the driver. So you are the driver. You are the pioneer. You are the one in the front. So they want to see what you're doing, not only just what you say. Because you might be saying some things, you might be placing some rules and regulations that might not be realistic for you. And then you want your followers to follow. Or sometimes you might lay them and give them some rules and regulations, and you yourself, you are doing the opposite of it. How do you expect? I remember during the COVID here in UK, because UK's law are the #1 in the whole world. So when they place rules and regulations, we are all to follow it. And you can imagine when they said that everybody should not do any party or any gathering or any event, everybody should stay indoors. Even the workers and even the organizations, they should do their business indoors. And then to realize that the government are busy doing parties at the backyard of their office, which broke the law. That cost them a lot. Probably that's one of the reasons why they lost their election. So you can see that if you are a leader, you are being placed to lead the world. You are being placed over there to be the director or the leader of that organization. And there is rules and regulations and procedures and other things like that. And you as a leader are not following those rules and regulations. What will happen to others? So we have to lay good example. The next point is lead by example. It's just like what I said right from the top, that engage and communicate with your stakeholders. Let them understand where you are going, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, how you want to survive. Then the next one is lead by example, just as the illustration I just gave you. Lead by examples and inspire others. The good part of this program is that we keep on repeating some few points because we want you to get it right. We must say it in different ways, but it's still the same point we are trying to express to you. So you have no excuse not to understand what is sustainability means, what sustainability leadership means, what you are expecting from you, and what you are expecting from others in a simple way. So lead by example and inspire others to join your organization, to work with you, to be your stakeholders, and to be your leader. You need to show your passion and enthusiasm, that you really believe what you are doing. You believe in that organization. You believe that you can succeed. You believe that you can move forward. You believe that you can survive. Because if you can believe it, you are building trust for others. You are creating trust. So you need to believe it. There's no point being in an organization you don't believe. Your performance will also be wrong. So you need to believe. That is why you need to understand right from the beginning what this organization stands for. You need to empower and enable your team and colleagues to take action. When they want to take actions, how you want to encourage them, it's for you to be the lead. Take actions and they will follow you. Influence them. That's why you are a leader. Just trying to bring in and checking people up. Okay, so that's another thing. I believe you are all following me and understanding my simple way of explaining what is. Because if you don't understand it, you cannot really take any action. So to recap, like I've said, that I draw I draw from another writer like me, and I said to you that there are various ways that you can step up to follow to become an effective, sustainable leader. I mentioned number one, educate yourself, assess the organization, develop a clear and compelling vision and strategy, engage and communicate with your stakeholders, lead by example and inspire others. I do hope that you got that right. And then you can even expand it to yourself in your own understanding. I think I've mentioned this, but I will mention it again. What is an example of a sustainable leader? One such example of innovative environmental leadership can be seen in the adoption of renewable energy source. Companies like Google and Apple have made significant progress in their areas. I mean, if I ask, I know that many people have Apple, Google, products. So they keep encouraging, they keep developing, they keep finding ways to be in the market. Not just be in the market, but be the lead in the market. We're talking about the Google, we're talking about Apple, we're talking about Amazon, and many, many more. And you can see the way they are growing. It's because of their leader. Their lead is because of their leaders that are bringing sustainable ideas. That if they shine it this way, if they go this way, that makes them to be on the top, committing to powering their operation entirely with renewable energy. You always find ideas. Okay, so let's move on to another one that I have borrowed some of their statements, and I will just quickly share with you quickly. 5 examples of sustainable leadership by Kara Anderson. Sustainable leadership in the corporate world, especially within the framework of environment, social, and governance principles, is an important component of modern business strategies. You all can agree with me that the way we do business these days is different from maybe 10 years ago. So it's a comprehensive approach that balances profitability with environment, stewardship, social responsibility, and ethical governance. In the context of ESG, sustainable leadership is not just about making eco-friendly choices. It's more than that. It's about embedding these principles into the core of corporate decision-making and the company's culture. Let me take, for example, if one company believes in providing a certain product or services to a certain people, they've been doing well in that strategy. Yes. Maybe they still need now to start thinking of global. I will take, for example, there is one man that established KFC's chicken burger or something like that. He started probably in one country, and then he wanted to go global. So you have to send his researcher or his marketer to go out there and study the culture of that country before he can venture into that country with his own business. And then he now realized that the same fried chicken that you can produce here in UK, UK might not be familiar with eating spices and all that kind of thing. And even if they have it to be mined, it's not going to be much of peppers and others. He now discovered that when you take the same business to Africa, where they are so much in eating so pepperish. So he studied that and studied other things and realized that the same way they are producing it here in UK cannot be the same way they will do it in Africa. So they added more spices in the fried chicken in Africa, more than the one in UK. So that is the way. So if you want to grow global, you need to study culture. If I want to take this business, for example, to India, I have to know their culture. Because what you think it is good here in UK might not be good in Africa or in India. So that's why you employ the researchers, you employ the innovators to come around with their findings and see where we can knock that door, cross the boundary, come out of our comfort zone and launch out in another place. I believe some of you are business owners. You are leaders. So these are the kind of things that we need to, because if you don't understand culture, you cannot embrace others. If you don't understand how they behave, let's take language for example. In Nigeria alone, probably we have more than 300 languages. The only thing that commonises us together is one single language, which is English. That our former have introduced to us. Because remember, we were colonized at a certain point. And those people that colonized us, they are English speaking. So that makes all of us to be free to go from one country to another country, from one state to another state, and still do our business. So we need to think broadly. For example, if I come to Nigeria now, if I want to go to the East, the food that we eat in the East will be different from the one in the West. Their language is different. But the only way that will make me free is the English speaking. So I can go to Port Harcourt, I can go to Ogun State, I can go to Kaduna and still communicate and still free. So that is the way we can think. Plus, no one is perfect. And we are not equal. Everybody is unique in their own way. But you need to develop yourself as a leader. You need to know who you are, know your strength, know your, just the way we said it on any organization. If you can appreciate your strength, you can understand and appreciate the strengths of the organization you are working with. It's the same principle. Anything you are learning now, you can apply it professionally, you can apply it personally. It's all about embedding these principles into the core of corporate decision-making and the company's culture. In today's corporate landscape, ESG factors are more important than ever. Why? Because they research more, because they have innovators, because they have sustainability leaders. They represent a shift in all businesses are evaluated, moving beyond financial metric to include their impact on the environment and society. This evolution in business assessment criteria has significantly elevated the role of the C-suites in driving ESG initiative. So that's more reason why we should keep learning, because we don't know it all. And the principles we are using, we cannot use it again. But I want to ask you another question. Let me just make sure we are all here listening to me I want to appreciate you all, Ambassador Agnes, Amy, Honorable Francis. Okay, I believe that Archvish is your name. Yes, I want to appreciate Alfred, Patience. I want to appreciate Gerald, Nebel. When I mention your name, I'm just trying to see if you are asleep off or you are waking up. I want to appreciate Ruth, Gertrude, Keta. I want to appreciate you, Cecilia, Gertrude, Alfred, Gerald, and Dr. Lonson as well. And I still want to appreciate Kwanke Isaiah on Facebook and many other persons. I believe you are all still with me. So let's continue. What are the challenges of sustainable leadership? What are the challenges of sustainable leadership? Let me see who to call. Let me call on, because you are all scholars and you've been learning since Monday. So, what are the challenges of sustainable leadership? Let me see if somebody else can help me. Honorable Francis Azem. I'm telling you, we are learning together. So, what are the challenges a sustainable leader we encounter? I'm listening.
Yeah, I thank you ever so much. For my own understanding, the challenges of sustainable leadership cover numerous things. But just to name few, like the environment or the culture you talk about, because you spoke about there are different cultures, there are different for those things. So to be sustainable leaders, it takes you time to really understand, to navigate, to go through those proceedings. And moreover, you have individual differences as well. You deal with different people, different stakeholders within your institutions. So it will take you time to understand them. They have their own weaknesses in terms of handling issues, understanding issues, and going about the dream or the code and visions of your institutions or the institution in which you're trying to control. So it takes time to really adapt to some of their behaviors, patterns, their understandings, and their working habit as well in achieving what you want to achieve as a leader. So that's just my own understandings or of some of the challenges as well, because it is filled with us everywhere of our society. When you come to the issue of living things, when you come to finances, when you come to mobilities, all those things are challenges to have a sustainable leadership or to go along to sustain your leadership. That's just my own thinkings. So I hope
Yes. I like the point, the very point you've mentioned. And I think that is very important, because we might think it's not a challenge, but it is a challenge when you are working globally, let's put it this way, or even within national, and your culture is different from another person's culture. And there are a lot of things. I mean, I remembered when I had one of my leader, Y.Y.C. leader in Philippines, and I'm working from here. Remember, I'm also originally from Nigeria and other things like that. So the time, I have been accustomed that your 10 o'clock should be 10 o'clock. But in their own way, they are still laid back. And I can't blame them, because according to their culture, there is a reason why they are laid back. Maybe the way I'm going to prepare to make sure that 10 o'clock is 10 o'clock might be the very time when they have to encourage others or do other things before they can do the event or do other things. So, for example, I have been in a meeting where I have to wait for almost 30 minutes. Not that because they're not there. They are there, but they have the ability that their culture is to make sure that at least the participants are more than particular figures. So if they have not reached that stage where maybe they're expecting 50 people to join and only 10 people are on the platform, so they have to wait and wait. And I still appreciate the fact that even while we're waiting, they are still like giving announcement and also appreciating and acknowledging those people that have joined. It's only that people like me, I'm so busy, I can't wait for 30 minutes before you start your program. Because maybe that particular day, I have about 4 or 5 programs to attend. And sometimes it might not be only online. I might even have to travel to London because I don't live in London for another meeting. So my time is very, very strict. So that's the culture. So I have to find a way, okay, if I see that this is the way they operate, then I have to find a way to that. While waiting, I can just close my video and then do other things before they are ready. So that's their culture that you need to adapt to appreciate them, because you still also want to bring them together so that we can learn together and grow together. I mean, say for instance, if I book an appointment to go to see doctor here in UK, when I first started, I was just only 5 minutes late. Guess what? They have to cancel it and rebook it for me because I'm late for 5 minutes. And then when they rebook it, it might be a month's time. Health is wealth. And we have to be serious with their health because anything can come, anything can happen between the time that you're supposed to have seen the doctor and the time they're giving you again to come back. So that's why I have to readjust. I know that we have an African time, but I can't use African time in this place. So that is culture. And that can be a challenge to any one of us. So thank you so much, sir, for contributing. Any other person that want to say something about the challenges? Okay. Okay. Any other person? Sister Ruth? Yes.
Very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. In leadership, there are so many challenges that might occur. Like our brother rightly stated, culture or language barrier is a factor. Another one I think is also a sense of favoritism or nepotism in organization. If, for example, I'm a Nigerian and I get a position outside my jurisdiction, and because sometimes I'm a Black, I get, a lot of racists, like she's a Black, nobody cares about my competence, but they are being, I can't be sidelined because of their sense of mediocrity. So I can't really function the way I ought to have functioned. I become very skeptical so as not to step on toes because anything can happen. So therefore, it's a barrier on my own part. I would have done better as a leader, but because of their sense of nepotism and favoritism, I have to get it slow. So it's also a challenge, man. Sometimes not some people are functional, but they are restricted based on the band on that organization or the leadership landmark or factor that govern the entity. Thank you very much, man. That's my own quota on it.
Very good point. Very good point. Yes, that can limit you. Imagine coming from another place, you've educated yourself to a certain level, and then they employ you to come there. Sometimes when they employ, maybe the employer doesn't understand who we are. And even if they understand who you are, maybe that is their own organizational behavior. You understand? Yes, I mean, it's reality that people want to progress, they want to survive, they want to make profit, they want to move forward, they want to do, but then it depends on the mindset they have. Because if their mindset has not reached that level, definitely they might not appreciate you. But in that case,
you
you don't need to be frustrated. There must be a way you can communicate. Take, for instance, if they ignore you, you just focus on what you're doing and do the best. Like I always say, be the best. Be your own version best. And do the rest. And leave the rest. Because the same person that might ignore you might now just notice that, oh, there has been changes in this organization because of this lady. Let's listen, let's embrace, let's recognize her. So sometimes as well, we need to be patient enough. I can take an example, marriage. People enter marriage are full of expectations. The same things with organization. Maybe we need to be exercising patience sometimes. Because sometimes we want everything to be done overnight. It can be. Yes, you have been in that organization maybe 5 years, maybe a little bit patient more for them to recognize what you've done. You just continue applying what you know, keep doing your best. Because the time is coming when the eye will be opening. The time is coming when what you've done has impacted into that organization and even people working with you. So you just keep on doing what you need to do, despite the fact that you are not being recognized, despite the fact that they are playing favoritism. And may I also say that when they are playing favoritism, it's to also bounce back to them. Because the person they focus on, that they think you can do the best for them, might disappoint them. And when they are in the state of disappointment, then they now start looking around. Probably that is the time they will now see what you are doing. So you don't give up. You just keep doing what you know. Keep applying what you've learned and keep learning. Use it as the training curve for yourself. The time they are not recognizing you, you use it to develop yourself, to know more. You understand? Let me also tell you the disadvantages of favoritism. You know that if they now focus on somebody that being the best, or the person is not the best, do you know that the person as well, because of their favoritism, might stop growing?
Yeah.
Because it will be it could be like a familiarity. So the person might find it difficult to grow because they are praising him too much.
Yeah.
They are recognizing him.
Yeah, the accolades are much.
Exactly. I mean, like I tell my mentees, I said, don't be too carried away when they recognize you.
Yeah.
Embrace it and keep going. Whenever I give award, that's always my statement. My statement is, getting this award is not for you to stop or to slow down. Getting the award is number one, to appreciate what you've done so far. And also to remind you that you can do triple better than what you are doing. So don't settle, don't relax. Because that is always the problem. And when you see that they keep promoting the person, they keep promoting the person, and the person is not even producing well, but just because of favoritism or other thing, you will find out that it's affecting even the organization itself. So thank you so much for contributing that. Any other person?
You're welcome.
I think Amy want to quickly say something. Amy?
Okay, yes,
Challenges. Challenges.
Okay, thank you very much for the class, ma. Almost what the audience said, that for the gender, some people also look at the gender, oh, females don't get some particular positions. Then qualification. Sometimes you might know something, but because there's that, you don't have that paper. You've mentioned that it's good to increase your promotion. But listen, yesterday you said that a cleaner was the one that gave the idea of some to a company, and it didn't work. So sometimes people look at that paper qualification to give someone the opportunity to do something, and sometimes that paper qualification is just a qualification on the paper, like people who are dropping their names just for a certificate. but there's somebody else that has the brain, but they're not willing to take the chance because of that paper. So that is one challenge.
Challenges, yeah.
Then yes, then I also noticed that in my organization, there was at a point when my school was a bit set to a point, I decided to leave it in the hands of somebody else and make money in another way, because that one, the school was like a CSR. So I now put people there and said, okay, let me move on and now grow a business for money to get resources. Then their mediocrity was killing that business. So getting humans, getting this generation, I don't know, a lot of people are so lackadaisical about a lot of things. So getting a team of people who are, no matter how much you talk, you motivate, you inspire, you give reward, there are some people that they just don't have dreams to grow. They're just comfortable. So that is also a challenge when you can't find the right team to work with. And then your environment. If you are with people who are not interested in growing, like you tell someone something and it could be a relative that will say, it won't work. It's not possible. I'm sure the first time anyone created a phone or something, they say it wasn't possible. So there are people who want to achieve, someone want to do something, but because you are listening to the voices that are around you. So as a leader, one should not listen. Those things will come, those problems, those people talking you down, talking that dream, talking that vision down. So that also, those people around you can also be a problem as a leader.
Amazing, amazing. I really like this. It's like we've started our question and answers, and I'm liking it the way we are all contributing to this, because I'm learning from you. You know, we want everything we're doing to be practical. It's not just about theory, you know, and I'm glad that Dr. Lonson has given us the opportunity to be able to do this. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, it's very important because there's a series. If you want to learn more about my mindset series, you need to subscribe to Y.Y.C.I TV YouTube channel, where I'm always talking about this mindset. You know, one thing is that for somebody to be mediocre, it all starts of the statement of their mind, their state of their mind. You are curious, you want to learn, then you came here and you are learning. It doesn't mean that everyone you are working with has the same mindset. It doesn't mean that everyone, even if they have qualification or have every other thing, if though what they want to do is just, I've learned, I've gone to university, I've got MBA, everything, that's enough, then they are not growing, because you cannot stop. I've said it to so many, even, I tell you something, I'm not a professor by degree. It's by honor. And I was honored because of what I'm doing. But to my surprise, a old professor that I've been studying for many years, because to become a doctor or to get a PhD is not overnight. So most of them have studied, researched, they have supervisor, they have submitted their species and all of that thing. You understand? It's amazing that they also are listening to what I'm saying. They have professor degree, certificate. And that is to tell you that they also are willing to learn more. So certificates should not stop you. It's just an evidence that you are attended. And the more you are growing, the more you are learning. I said it 2 days ago. Classroom, education in class is a foundation. Do you want to live by foundation? Or do you want to move up? You want to build on that. Imagine building a house. You lay down the foundation, you make it solid. Are you just going to sit down there and say, yes, I've done something? No, you have to build on that foundation. But not everybody will do that, because it depends on their own understanding. I always said in my own section, I mean, whenever I'm doing my masterclass, what I always tell them, that there are 4 things that limit us, that belittle us, that hold us back, that even stop us. 4 elements. The first thing was ignorance. The second was lack of understanding. The third one is lack of vision. Not everybody has vision. Some people just want to work. I've heard this adage, they said, at the end of it all, they will pay me. That's not, you understand? They say, either I do the job, I don't do the job. At the end of the month, they will pay me. That attitude is bad. Or there's the attitude of, well, it's not my company, so why will I stress myself? I'm only helping them. That attitude is bad. Wherever you are, you have to behave like you own the company. Because whatever you do in other people's company is what you will also do in your own company. If you are laid back and you go to other person's job, go there late every day, you are developing yourself to become late comer. So that is more reason, because whatever we're doing for top people, you are not doing it only for them. You are doing it to develop yourself. That's how you learn. For the past 40 years, I've been involving many organizations to build up their business. That even people out there think all this business I'm promoting, all this business I'm working with, they thought it's my business. They thought it's my organization. Because they trusted me, they will just call up them to come and do something for them. So whatever you do for your fellows, you are doing it for yourself. So, but you need to focus on what you are doing. If you can motivate them, motivate them. If you can inspire them, inspire them. What did the Bible say? Even when Jesus sent his disciples, he said, well, say your own, spread the word. If they listen, they listen. If they don't want to listen, it's not your fault. Even if you knock somebody's door and you want to preach to them, and they said, no, you can't come in. We don't want to hear it. What did he say? Dust yourself and don't bother to go there again, because they're not interested. There are millions of people that want to hear the truth. So if this person doesn't want to hear the truth, you don't waste your time. It's the principle in the Bible, and it's the principle everywhere. So thank you so much for contributing. I would like to move on, but I will still call on Darius Archie to quickly contribute. Because this is we are learning from one another, isn't it? Are we learning? Yes. And I think Archie has a problem in connectivity. So I just mentioned his name and he's come out of this platform. He will join us again. So let me continue. All what you've contributed this morning is good, is truth, and it is correct. So the challenges of sustainable leadership will also be the needs for shift mindset. I've told you several things about mindset. If their mindset is like that, it is mixed, then you won't be able to understand better what you can do to progress, to sustain, to survive. So shift mindset is one thing. Collaboration and partnering is also another and challenges, because it's not easy for you to get the right company, the right organization to collaborate with. And you don't even know their behavior, their culture, just as our brother have said it. You don't know. Because what you see might be different from what is inside. Like I always said, until you get closer to somebody, you don't know them. So that can be another challenge. Even investment in sustainable technologies can be a challenge, because it might be expensive. It might be expensive for your organization to purchase, to invest in. So that is also another challenge. Okay, I think Darius, you really want to say something quickly, because the internet is affecting you one way or the other. You want to contribute, or maybe I should move on? because we are running out of time. So the other thing is we've known about the challenges of sustainable leadership. Remember right from the beginning, I said the state of your mindset will determine what you embrace, what you see. I mean, like in the principle of the successful person out there, we say, some people will see obstacles, where some people will see solution. Some people will see challenges, and people will see opportunities out of that challenges. So now we've discussed about the challenges of sustainable leadership. Let's move on to opportunities of sustainability leadership. Okay. So the first one is cost saving through resource efficiency. Increased market opportunities. Because that's the time that you need to research more. That's the time you need to be open to new things. That's the time you need to be more creative. That's the time you need to embrace innovation. It is that time when you have challenges that you need to look at the other side of the coin. So it will increase market opportunities if you see it that way. That this challenge is for you to see beyond, to see above. So that will increase market opportunity. That will also improve brand reputation. That's part of the opportunities. So, but before we go any further, I want to inspire you of one thing, which is very, very important. All the successful and influential people you've learned from or observed always develop themselves to become better and great. They failed several times, but they keep learning. Permit me to just ask you these questions. I'm doing it. I will write the statement and then you will just be reasoning at this time. Failure is what I want to share with you. Failure is the beginning of progress. Every setback will turn to comeback, and any challenges and any other challenges and adversity, it shall be a comeback for us, for you. When you face that challenges, that obstacles, that problems, by the time you face it and overcome it and have solve the problem, you will become stronger. Your organization will become stronger. You will become better. The organization you work for will become better. And you personally will become wiser because you've learned from those challenges and how to solve them. Another truth is, failure is the sign to your place of your improvement and development. It's a sign that you need to gain more knowledge and know it better. So as a sustainability leader, when you are facing your challenges, when you have failed several times, always bear in mind that life itself is like try and error before you get it right. So failure should not be your way of discouragement, giving up, or quitting. Failure is also the beginning of exploration, exploitation, better understanding. And it is okay to fail and make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. If you are in an organization as a leader and you failed, I'm sure if the owner of that organization understands this principle, that shouldn't make it to lose your job. Instead, they need to give you room, probably send you to go for training or your team members to go for training. Probably that's the time that you research more and come up with findings and solutions. Another principle is failure leads to success if we redo and try again and again. Because when you are committed to it and you are consistent, you will realize that your organization and yourself, you are getting better and better and better. Don't leave any organization because they are failing. Don't leave any organization because they are struggling. I've learned a situation where one organization or two organizations were unable to pay their employee for a certain period just because they are facing their own crisis. If you have to stay in that organization and you personally find the way to, to make some earnings, so discover your own gifts within that period that you can develop and make little money while you are staying with that organization. Because the condition you are facing today is not permanent. The same organization you think is failing can rise up 3 times better in the future. And when you have removed yourself, you lost that opportunity. Failure will not stop you nor limit you because you have what it takes. You have what it takes to stand as a leader. So I just think I should just draw your attention to that. So how do you master your mind for challenges? Because that one is also very important as for you as a sustainability leader. How do you master your mind for challenges? Mastering your mind for challenges is one of the greatest life challenges to all. Because we will all face challenges. Even the little baby is facing challenges of rising up several times, trying to stand up and then fall down again, stand up and fall down again until he got it right. He never give up because he can see the older ones walking and he's saying it to our mind, a 2-year-old or 1-year-old girl or boy, saying to mama, if that one can walk, then I can walk. So they first of all stood up, they fall down. They're crawling, and one day they want to make attempt. So they fall several times. And guess what? When they start walking, the time of walking and running is so limited. Because they discover it quickly, and they say, yes, I can run with it. That's why you see parents running after their toddlers. Because while they're still studying how to stand up and walk, they are also studying how to move fast and run. That is the mindset that we adults also need to do in our own performance and activities. So I'm just quickly going to share with you mastering your mind for any challenges as a sustainability leader. The first one is your mind controls your perspective. If I come here today and somebody is saying to me, you can't teach, you can't speak, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, then I start believing in that. That's negativity. But if you say to yourself that no matter your opinion, that is what you see, but I can do better than that. So you have the right to control your mind and your perspective about something. If everybody is saying that that organization will not work, that nation will not work, the government presently will not work, what are you trying to do? You are damaging the perspective of people because you will say it to yourself, you will say it to your family, you will say it to your friends, and as time goes on, you've said it to many people that it cannot work. Nigeria cannot be great. Liberia cannot be a good country. So why? You have to be positive. Being positive doesn't mean that you ignore the present problem. But being positive moves you forward to see the better side of it. So you mind control your perspective. And it all depends on what you allow yourself to listen to. Gosh, millions of people are enjoying listening to gossip, listening to negativity, listening to they can't do it, listen to all sorts of rubbish. That's why you need to protect your mind. So mind controls your perspective. As you think, so you are. Just as the Bible says. So what is in you is what we bring out. Out of the abundance of heart, the mouth speaks. And what you believe is what you become. And all starts from your mind. That's why the Bible will say, renew your mindset for transformation. Renew your mind for transformation. Not what people say to you, but what you believe in yourself. And if you want to believe positively, you can. So then the next one is inform how you receive and process your interactions with the world around you. You have to choose your association. You have to choose your club, your association, your friends. If your friends are full of negativity, that's the time you need to move on if you really want to be a sustainable leader. Because for you to lead people to survive, then you have to be positive. And you have to be growing your mindset with the right information. You have the control of your mind. You control what you listen to. You control your belief system. So if you want to lead your organization to the next level, then you need to be different. Unlike other things, you can claim mastering over after a finite amount of time. The mind can take some lifetime to master. Oh, yes. It's not overnight. It's for you thinking and reading and studying and researching and asking questions. So it's a process. If you want to be a great leader, a sustainability leader that will lead the organization to their destiny, that will lead the organization from one level to another level, you need to work on yourself, your thinking, your mind. Because if your mind is full of negative, then you are not welcoming any new ideas. You've already shut down. You've already wrote off that organization. Leaders see challenges as an opportunity and obstacles to grow and learn. Use it as your own training time. Develop new skills. Empower yourself. Engage in dialogue. Engage in webinars, seminars. If you really want to, because I believe, yes, you can. You can be an effective sustainability leader, apart from all the theories. Because a lot of us, we understand all these theories. We go for seminars, masterclass, but when it comes to action, we take actions our actions is opposite of what we've learned. That's why the problem is not being solved. So what does a challenge means? If I might say again, it could be a difficult, tough time. It might be demanding or overwhelming, but you can still overcome it. It can be complicated sometimes, especially in an organization. But when you give yourself time to think critically, to think constructively, to think creatively, you will see that you can make it together with your team. You want to succeed. And then another thing is that sometimes we want to do business and we're expecting profit within a year. It can't work that way. I always make farmers as an example. they will find time to first of all clear up the way. All the weeds they remove. Then when they see that the ground is okay, then they start digging and planting. And when they plant finish, then they start watering. And then they start taking care of that environment before the new seed comes in. And then they start watching because it might not grow overnight. And everything has a time. They have their own time. The time to plant the yam, the time to plant the, what's my favorite there now, sweet corn or corn you call it, and the time to plant the bamboo tree. They have their own time. So imagine you are planting the bamboo, ma'am, you are waiting for tomorrow for it to grow. It will not grow. But when it grows, you know that you've done the job. The same thing we need to apply to our day-to-day, our professionalism, our personal lives. That things did not grow. They always say that Rome is not built in a day. So we need to exercise patience. And when we're exercising patience, you can pray, you can study, you can develop yourself, and you can see ways you can bring strategies that has not been used before that can help your organization. That makes you an effective, sustainable leader. When you take time for yourself to reason, to refresh. Okay, I think I've put justice to what I need to teach today. And I'm just going to give room for questions and answers. But because today is the last day, let me just quickly just encourage you and just challenge you for this. As an effective sustainability leader, I want you to think of this. Anti-corruption. Do not tolerate corruption in any form. Do not. If you want to know more about corruption, you want to know how you can stay away from corruption, there's so many books, so many videos. Even during our last section of masterclass in Y.Y.C.I, one or two leaders talk about this corruption, how you can deal with it. If you are into it, how you can come out of it, how you can prevent it, because it doesn't help. So you can get the tape also on the TV, on Y.Y.C.I TV YouTube channel. Then the second one, diversity, inclusion. Promote diversity and inclusion throughout the organization and the supply chain. Very important. You need to embrace others. You need to enlarge your capacity and the capacity of your organization. Then the third one is environment support, environmental precaution. Promote environmental responsibility and encouragement among your people with technology and processes. Let us not just depend on the government. We all can contribute to all this sustainability because we are all going to do it together. We need to take responsibility. We need to be accountable for it in your area, in your personal lives, in your business, in your organizations, and even in your society. Then you need to look into the ethic and business conduct, behavior, ethically. Always and demand ethical conduct within the organization and throughout the supply chain. We also need to look into the behavior, our attitude, our character. My pastor used to say this, with all your degrees, I said it and elaborated it yesterday. With all your degrees and your papers and your certificates, which I know many of you have millions of certificates, it will get you to where you want to get to. But what will sustain you is your attitude and your behavior and your character as a leader. We have both the bad leaders, good leaders, and ugly leaders. So you need to reposition yourself. If you have been doing something wrong, we are not here to condemn. We are here to challenge ourselves to do better. All the problems you see that is happening in the whole world is because they only say it with their lips that they need a change, but they are not ready for that change. And they are pushing things around, blaming others that are taking risks to do something. And all they are blaming and condemning is slowing the person down to do something. Because no one is perfect. Our personal life is different from professional life. You can be very great in your professionalism. And in your personal life, there's so many hurdles. And you need to be in a position of balancing your personal and the professional. That makes you a great leader. Not only what you do, but what you influence others to do. Then financial integrity conduct, or financial business dealing with and decision making with integrity. Integrity is the key word there. I know we all want to profit. I know we want to be rich. We want to make it. But let your handiwork speak for you. Don't cross the line. Don't do unnecessary things that is not worth it. Look at that organization you are working for or your organization. See it that in the next 10 years, it has really impacted into other people's lives. It has really contributed to the success of the environment in your area, the social, the success, the culture. And you have led people in a great way where they can embrace all these things and they themselves contribute to it. So when you influence people, influence them in a way that when you look back, when they look back, they can praise you, either you are there or you are not there. That's what we call legacy, the generational legacy. So I'm just summarizing because I'm about to close. So this is my conclusion for today. Then another thing is global citizenship art, in person and virtually, for the benefit of all global citizens, locally and elsewhere, fulfilling ethical and moral obligation. Let me come up with this one. Your culture, your tradition, your customs. The more you are trying to encourage yourself, trying to embrace it, trying to respect it, you also lead people to respect your culture. I'm sure corruption is not our culture. It's a man-made thing, and we can do away with it. 90% of our government today that are involved in corruption, that's not their life before. Probably they entered into the system and they saw that corruption is good for them, and that's how they conform to it. But as you are here in this platform, I believe your mindset should change, should shift from fixed mindset to a growth mindset, and to determine that you will stand out. You will stand out and you will do the right thing. It's about your own decision. It's about your own determination. It's about your own dreams. Corruption will not last. Instead, it affects the whole world. Is that what your leadership is all about? Or do you want to make a change to make the people of the land feel comfortable, for them to enjoy the planet with you, for them to enjoy the infrastructures? Or you want to use they apportion you the money, the funding for you to do the infrastructure, and you first of all take half of the money, put it in your own bank? What kind of leader is that? The same thing happens to organization because, like I said, whatever you are doing now, whatever any leaders are doing now, they've been doing it for a long time as well. They just found themselves in a bigger place to catch bigger fish. Because their mind is already corrupted. So when a corrupted mind corrupt, what else? You can, that's it. But you can guide your mind and say, as for me and concerned, God is still on the throne. I fear God than fearing any other thing. And if the fear of God is in you, you won't involve in corruption. Because you know that the act of corruption is depriving others to enjoy the society. If you have the fear of God, you will have the wisdom of God. And if you want to sustain that your organization, sustain yourself, sustain others, then you need to have the fear of God. You might be a Muslim, you can be a Christian like me, you can serve whatever you're serving and whoever you're serving, but fear of God is very important. You can go for any training. The only way to apply this training, first thing first, is the fear of God. You are here to represent God. You are the ambassador of the kingdom of God. So how can you involve in corruption? Deny your citizens, your people. How can? Turning your deaf ears to them when they are crying. Same thing happens, the same principle with the organization. How well are you acting or performing in any organization? Because whatever you are doing, you are contributing to the progress and sustainability of that organization. So we have health and safety protects persons in the supply chain from the risks of injury, danger, failure, error, harms, and loss of lives. Part of corruption is when you are selling the wrong drugs. The drugs that are supposed to heal people is killing people. Part of corruption is when you are not saying the truth. When you are providing a services that will hinder them instead of saving them because you want to make money out of it. Part of corruption is all this fraud because they are not ready to work hard like horse. They want the money overnight. So they put two things together and the technology is helping them. Human rights recognize and acknowledge that human beings have universal and natural rights and status regardless of legal jurisdiction and local factors. We have the right. The youth have their right. Children has their rights. Women has their rights. Men has their rights. And we have to give them the ability to exercise that right and let their voice be known or being heard. If you don't listen to your people, if you don't listen to your team members, how do you want to work with them? How do you want them to be accommodative and be welcomed so that they also can contribute to the success of that organization? It's an opportunity, it's the grace that makes you their leader, not that you know it all. When we work together, when we reason together, then we can survive together. Labor rights respect, promote, protect an individual's labor rights as defined by applicable international convention and many, many more. So on this note, I want to say thank you so much to Dr. Lonson Tom for giving me that opportunity to share. And also want to give honor to you, great leaders on this platform, for opportunity you've given me to trust me to share my little wisdom with you this afternoon. I want us to also join hands to welcome my personal secretary, my personal assistant that has joined us this afternoon to see how I'm performing. Please join hands together to welcome Ambassador Lukman Nuruddin Adeniyi. Thank you so much. All right, if you have any questions, but let me just hand over to Dr. Lonson, and probably he will be challenging you or encouraging you to ask questions. Dr. Lonson Thompson.
Okay, thank you so much, Your Excellency. I really want to appreciate you, honestly speaking. I don't know if our students wrote down some certain things, some points, some keynotes, but I myself, I am doing that at the background here. Sorry, because I am on and off because of some engagements, but I am fully involved. My earpiece is always on my ear. I want to say this to each and every one of us. This is a golden opportunity. And I believe everything that has been taught in this morning class, you will not escape any of it. So you that is joining for the first time, I want to say, please, in our previous videos, previous lectures, go and grab it, listen to it, go through it, edify your soul, and let it make meaning in your life, in your service to humanity. Social responsibility and social sustainability is very, very key in our society today. So please, we are going to draw this to a close tonight, just as I said earlier, tonight in our sub class. I want you to feel free. But before I will maybe hand over this back to our big mommy, I want to find out from you, please, with the permission of Her Excellency, Dr. Elizabeth, how many of us here, please, you can unmute yourself, give me this response. How many of us want us to rehost our big mommy in a very big way? This is very small way, very bigger way. Host her very well. How many of us want it?
Yeah, my hand is up.
Yes.
That's very beautiful. Thank you so much. You can mute back yourself. Yes, Ambassador Lukman, I really appreciate you for joining. It's been a while that we see each other. Thank you so much for joining this class today. God bless you. I will not take this for granted. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We are going to do something on our platform soonest, but I know she has not permitted me to do so, but we are going to do that on PCCF section. Our big mommy will enter Nigeria in a very gladsome way, but I will not tell you the date yet, but it's going to be very soon.
Dr. Lawson, this is professional.
I know,
all this big mommy you are talking.
I know.
You make me feel big, and I'm still small.
You are big. You are big. You are big. You deserve it, man. You deserve it. You deserve it. So,
I've been correcting him since last year about this mommy business. He's not listening to me, isn't it, Ambassador Agnes? This your Dr. Lawson is not listening. I've been correcting him. Eh?
Correction accepted. Okay, let me leave that side for a while. But all the same, thank you so much, Your Excellency. God bless you. Please ask your question. Feel free. Let us interact in a few minutes so that we can call it off for a day. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lonson. Okay, question time. Please lift.
Yeah.
Okay. The first question is coming from Mr. Richard. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doctor. I'm Richard Jha from Liberia, and precisely Magibi County, one of the region in Liberia, the 15 counties. Thank you for the presentation once again. I want to applaud you for the great work you are doing for people in this country and the world at large. We were talking about corruption. I want to know, because corruption is one of the ills that causing serious problem in our African nation or in the world, especially when you come to Liberia. Most of our officials, our government appointees are always in the corruption. And how can we do this to minimize corruption? Can corruption be minimized or can it be eradicated? That's my question.
I will just say straight away that that corruption can be minimized. Let me ask you that is asking this question. Do you understand what corruption is about?
Yeah, corruption is in diverse ways. It may not be in cash. It may be in your job site. Maybe you don't come to work on time, or you don't take certain responsibility. It's all part of corruption. It's not being in cash alone. So I understand what corruption can be in diverse areas.
Absolutely right. And the point there is that we have so many acts on corruption, which that would be because that is really the topic that really needs to be expatiated for everyone, especially all our leaders on this platform, and also other people that will be listening to it or watching this later. When we talk of corruption, we can find a whole day. So your question is, yes, it can be eradicated, and yes, we can reduce it. But how can we do that? Will be the permission that we give to Dr. Lawson to create another platform for him to be able to bring us back so that we can discuss fully on this corruption, because it's wanted to say something about it. It's another thing to get better understanding, and it's another thing to examine ourselves. To examine ourselves individual, if we are really, because it's okay to throw stone. I'll tell you the story of this woman in the Bible. When everybody, I know that some of my Christians are here, but I will still say it as well. When everybody is about to throw stones to one particular lady that is acting on fornication, something like that, whether adultery or fornication, okay? And then when all of them are running around and say, Jesus Christ, you are talking to this lady. Instead of you to punish her, we are ready to throw the stone to her because she's been breaking the law. She's been doing this. She's been doing that. And the wisest man in the whole world knelt down and started doing as if he doesn't hear what they said. And then at the end of it all, he now come up with this question. He didn't say all the sins. He said, if any of you, and I'm sure among those people, we have bishops, we have elders, we have pastors, we have learners, we have lawyers, we have everybody during that time. So he now said to them that, is any one of you that are here, I'm not talking of others, I say, any one of you that are rounding up and you've got your stone to throw at this lady, if any of you has not committed this particular sin, be the first to throw the stone. So how many people throw the stone? If you are Christian like me, how many people?
None. Everybody went away.
And then how many people even are still hanging around that time?
None. Everyone went away.
They all walked away.
So that means to show you that the same sin or any other sin that we see other people doing, and we want to throw stone to them, might be the same sin that we ourselves, if we don't check it out, we are involving in it. So when we talk of corruption, it's a corporate problem. It's a corporate problem. Because as I'm talking to you now, without naming anybody, without throwing stone to anybody, even here that we have about 20 people here, there's a sign or there's a traces of corruption in our operation. So the first thing first, if we want to deal with it, we deal with ourselves first. Like the scripture says, remove the beam in your eyes before you remove the beam in another person's eyes. If you know you are clean in your own way, you are clean from this corruption, I'm sure by the time you speak to influence, to motivate, to inspire others, automatically you can influence them, you can help them to change their lifestyle because you are clean to it. But the problem is, how can a corruptible mindset change the corruption? So we are all guilty, including myself. So that is why we need to examine ourselves. Why are we in that situation? Why are we involving in corruption? What is corruption? What kinds of corruption do you know? Because sometimes if you are ignorant, you are doing something bad, you might not know you are doing it. You know that? You might not know you are doing that. Take for instance, on the cross of Calvary, again, when Jesus was being placed in between two robbers.
Yeah.
You understand? And people are throwing these stones. I mean, they are, talking and yelling and other things. When he opens his mouth, he said, God forgive them. Because of why? They don't know what they are doing. So it could be possible that you might be involving in corruption and you don't know yourself. Am I right?
Yeah.
I might be doing
Exactly.
something. And remember, he even said, when they said, what can you say to all this book of laws? What can you say to these laws? Have you come to, because they said that the blood of Jesus has shed, the blood of Jesus has, and the grace of God has helped us to sustain ourselves out of this wickedness. And then they're asking questions. Have you come to change all the rules and regulations, the laws? And then he said, he has not come to change any law or to demolish any law. I came to fulfill the law. But then he went on to say that people say, for example, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill is the law. Am I right? But the mind that makes somebody to kill is that one is a sin. As long as you are already thinking about it, you've already killed the person. You understand? You have already killed the person. It's not when you now take the gun or the knife and stab that makes you to be a killer. No, you've killed the person with your mind, with your thinking. That's where hatred is coming from. Because if you hate somebody, you are thinking of something bad to happen to that person. So you've already killed the person. So when we're talking about corruption, we need to assess ourselves. We need to get better understanding. We cannot change anybody, but you can change yourself to influence. That even before you open your mouth, they've already seen you in action. You want to change corruption? Be an example. The same country, the same village, where we have full of corruption going on is still the same place where we see some people using the same resources to help the people in the country. We still see some people doing good. In the same place, you've seen some people doing bad. The same place where there is darkness is still the same place there is light. So if I want to talk about corruption, I can use a whole year to talk about it because I'm also learning and I want to learn from others because I'm not the only one that want to tackle this. So you need to know the meaning of the corruption. You need to know the reason why people find themselves in that situation, what makes corruption, the types of corruption, the consequences of corruption, the effects of corruption, how you can come in to eradicate the corruption, how you can inspire others to come out of corruption. How, so there's so many things. So I give Dr. Lawson a challenge that one of the days he can arrange just that statement of corruption and let the whole world learn about it. And we can break ourselves free. We can be guilty, we can be innocent. But don't take it that because you see other people doing it, we are like a mirror. We see others more than us. And we're supposed to see ourselves more than them. So if we can understand it and see, whenever we are mentioning all this form of corruption, you check your life out. And then you see, it's not about condemnation, it's about us want to make it. This corruption is still not only on the government side, it's also in organization. When a certain fund will be given to an organization to make them be sustained, to survive, most especially our banks, they are full of corruption. Because when the government is helping a certain banks so that they can help the community, and here we are, the community is suffering, the directors are robusting. Despite the salary we give them, because they are being well paid. Somebody came to us about 10 years ago, came to visit. I mean, even the look at that person, he knew that I am not happy. He purposely said he was part of the what do you call them, House of Assembly, something like that. And the money funding was apportioned to that particular state. Here comes to England to come and boast that he borrowed the money to do something before he could apply it. I just said no. Since that time, I told my husband, I don't want to see this man in my area anymore. How could you do that? And the same state, I heard later that for almost a year, the workers didn't receive salary. A whole state for a year, they were not paid. Here we come somebody coming here to come and boast that, shine your life, I have to use government's money to quickly borrow. You have no right to do that. Because when you borrow, you can't even repay it back. That's corruption. And the same person we want to take the black card, join other people to protest against a government. Do you understand? We have a long way to go, but all things are possible. And yes, we can overcome it and eradicate the corruption. Thank you so much. Any other question? I hope I've satisfied your question. Are you satisfied with that question and that answer to your question? Mr. Richard? Okay, I think it's the connection. Any other question, please?
Yeah, I'm satisfied, ma'am. I'm satisfied with the question, the answer. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's good. Any other question, please? Thank you so much to Ambassador Francis Azem for your prayers. Yes, we all need prayers. So keep praying for us. Thank you so much for your prayers on the platform. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We all need your prayers. Any questions, please? If there's no questions, do you want to permit me to end this program?
I can hear you very low.
Sorry?
Yes.
So no more questions? Okay, let me clarify this. If you want me to end this program today, can you just say yes, you can? I didn't hear
Can we
anybody
add one
saying
more
yes,
day
you
there
can.
tomorrow, please?
Yes, you
One more
can.
day, doctor.
No, sorry, there's no more program tomorrow. Please, please go and
All
watch the
right.
videos, ask questions this
Hello.
evening. Hello, do you have any question, Miss Carter?
Yep. Yep. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you first for the presentation. Though I'm busy, but
I
I'm
know, we
recording
can see you. We can
everything.
see you busy.
I'm recording everything and I will listen to it later.
Okay.
So my question has to do with passion. If you don't have passion for a job, can you lead your people?
You can't. You can't lead the people because you already have a divided mind. And all what you are doing is struggling yourself. Or you are just there just to collect your salary at the end of the month. So if you're not passionate enough to lead people, you cannot lead people. Because your passion will lead to you influencing them, inspiring them, motivating them. And then the way you act, your activities, your performance, they watch it. So if you don't believe in that organization, you cannot inspire anyone. If you don't believe that, yes, you can achieve it, you can achieve the goals together and move the organization forward, then you can lead people. Because it's like blind leading the blind. You don't care, and you're leading the other peoples that don't care. That you're only there for salary and not to believe in the ethos, the ethical, and also the vision of that organization.
Body is low. I
So
can't
you
hear.
can't. Have I answered your question?
Yes, ma'am.
But what will make somebody not to be passionate about the job? Probably they are being forced to do the job. Probably
Yeah,
that is not they've been taught in school, because a lot
exactly.
of people have to change their career. But then they can rise up and say, yes, this is not the job I studied for. But this is just another way to survive. And you have not to lose your dream. Remember the story of a cleaner. Probably that cleaner has a degree degree certificate. I've worked in a place that somebody that has the first degree in law applied for a cleaning job in a big organization. I asked her, why did you do this? He said, I have responsibilities. I have children. And I'm paying bills. And I have to give the best for my children. So I have to start from somewhere. While I'm just waiting and folding my hands to say there's no job, you start from somewhere. So that is she has spent almost 5 years to study law, got the degree in it. But at the same time, He doesn't want to stay home, lamenting, gossiping, complaining, and not even doing anything resourceful. So he said to himself, to herself, at least if I start, I'll be going out every day. That's a motivation. I'll be working. At the end of the month, they will pay me. But that's not my destination. That is not my bus stop. It's just another way. That's why I said, as a sustainable leader, you have to be thinking outside the box sometimes. And that doesn't mean it will not get the job later. You understand? But you have to take what is around now. Remember, I said something about challenges. When you're in challenges, you also need to get opportunities. Look at how that cleaner, maybe he has a degree. Nobody knows. But her attitude and passion to her job got her promotion from being a cleaner to become one of the members of advisory of the organization, to moving her from low to that place. She didn't apply for it. It was automatic. It was later on they start asking, do you have any degree at all? Do you have any certificate at all? And even if she doesn't have it, her attitude has already promoted her. They can decide to send that for training. Oh, yes. They can decide to sponsor her to go for training, go for her to go to school, and at the same time, she'll be working with them, and they'll be paying her. So we need to put passion wherever, especially those that are doing voluntary job. They think, oh, they're just waking up, going there, and some of them are not serious. In fact, working as a volunteer, you gain more knowledge, exposures, connections, and skills. But if you don't put your passion into it, you won't be able to do it. If I'm not passionate about Y.Y.C.I International, I could have folded up a long time ago. Because from 2000 to this time, I've never charged anybody. But I spent hours, more than hours of me working where I've been paid. I'm only doing part-time job in the hospital as an admin. That's the only payment I'm getting. But I put all my passions into this Y.Y.C.I because I want to see progress. I want to save people from their trauma. I want to save people from their frustration of unemployment, from helpless, because I've been there before. I told you my story yesterday. In the same Nigeria you were here, I was homeless. I ended up sleeping in the railway station. But I don't want other people to do the same thing. I don't want them to be helpless. I don't want them to be homeless. And at the same time, giving them money cannot solve their problem. Because the money we finish is a currency. It flows in, it flows out. That's why most of you will understand something when they say, I will teach you how to catch the fish, not giving you the fish. Tell my mentees, Ambassador Dr. Agnes can testify when I met her 4 years ago, or even 5, before COVID. I told her right from the beginning, I am not giving you any money because I don't have money to give. You give what you have. But my advice, my wisdom, and my stories should help you to wake up, should help you to rise up, should help you to build your confidence, should help you to expand. If I give her room now to tell you her stories herself, we'll be here till 5 o'clock. Because she has developed from where we met to where she is now. She's now an ambassador at large in Liberia. She works with the government. She works with the stakeholders. But that's not where she started. I only give her a little advice and then I see her growing. and she's growing fast. So that's why everything you are doing, either you're working for somebody or not, either that is your career or that is not your career. Maybe you have to change for some time to accommodate while you are waiting. You need to put passion into it. And when you are passionate about it, then you can influence others. Then you can lead others. Then you can inspire others that no matter the condition they find themselves, it is not permanent. It's just a bus stop. Imagine me going to the bus stop. I want to travel to London, and so many things I have to come across while I'm waiting for my bus or my train. And then I give up, or I'm moaning or complaining. That will slow me down. That will discourage me. That will stop me. I might even decide not to continue with the journey. But when you are motivated yourself, when you are encouraging yourself, then you have the ability to encourage, inspire others by showing passion in what you are doing. Remember, even the scripture says, David, despite all the atrocity around him, he encouraged himself because he has to show passion to whatever he's doing. So a strong leader must be passionate in what they're doing. A sustainable leader must to be passionate because your action is the trust you are creating for others to follow. I hope I've answered the question. Sorry, I don't have a one-line answer.
Yes, very well. I enjoyed the answer and I'm so satisfied with it. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
one thing you actually said that inspired me is while you're working, no matter the difficulties on the job site, do not leave the job. You should stay on it and work together, and at the end, you all will be successful. I take that into serious consideration because we found ourselves in such area, but with God being our helper, we're still moving strong. So we are going to take that and work with it with passion. I just asked the question for others here to
Yes,
listen
yes,
to
which
your
is
answer.
good. And it's a
Yes,
very good question. It's a very good
yes.
question. I met
Thank you,
somebody
man.
somebody a few years ago. I wrote a book on Y.Y.C.I, my very first book, and the person read the summary of it on Facebook. And this is the person that is so frustrated in her situation. She got impregnated, so she had a baby. She's staying with this particular man, and then the man is working, and then she found herself staying home, being the housewife, taking care of their little baby. And then here comes my story. So she contacted me, and she shared as frustration. She said she has first class in pharmacy, yeah, first class in university. But look at her sitting down at home, being a housewife, taking care of the young baby. And a lot of people have been whispering to her, why will you find yourself in that place? You are very well educated, and then you want to do this. It's better you run away from that man, or even come to Canada, travel from Cameroon, come to Canada. There'll be a job for you, and you're flying. And then they suggested to her that she can take her baby to go and dump it to her mom or something like that. I said to her, you are going nowhere. When we started the conversation, first of all, she ran away from me for 2 days. She came back. I still want to learn. You are not going to Canada. Even if there is a bigger opportunity for you to go to Canada, you are not going. You are not leaving your man because you gave birth to your child, your beautiful daughter, and this man is ready to take care of you. He accepted you and your baby. He took a responsibility of pregnating you, and he's ready to take care of you. So you're going nowhere. Then when we started all the consultation, to fast forward the story, when I consulted her, asked so many questions, our gift, our area of this and every other thing. Fast forward after a year, guess what? The same woman became the owner of a pharmacy store. The same woman became the producer of her own drugs, medicines. The same woman became having one of the saloon, not only just doing the hair or plaiting the hair, but solving problem of people that have problem with their hair growth. So she is producing the cream to help the ladies to grow their hair. And at the end of it all, she ended up becoming an entrepreneur of 3 businesses. I asked her, do you want to go to Canada anymore? She said, no, I am achieving greatly here in Cameroon. That is the word. I did not give her a single penny to survive. I only gave her advice. And then, even with my advice, I didn't dictate for her. I asked her questions for her to look deep inside her and her environment to see what she can do, to see her ability, her gift that has been deposited in her that she herself did not know. To see the way, the ability given to her to solve many people, many problems. So I only helped her and healed her by asking questions. And while she was answering those questions, she was also thinking and reasoning. And at the end of the day, she went to take action and she became an entrepreneur. So even when she says she has first class in pharmacy, she doesn't need to go and look for a job to become pharmacist. She created her own job for herself and also for others. That's what we are talking about. The last question, sir. Mr. Francis, because I need to go, it's already to 1 here. Wow, I didn't plan to stay too long. I think I'm being passionate about the answers I'm given. The last one, please, permit me. The last one.
Thank you, Mother. I'm so grateful and overwhelmed for opening our minds when it comes to leadership. And it was truly a blessing to really come across you this hour. And the organizer of this great, unique program, they didn't make mistakes, choosing you to really present to us as young leaders to be able to make some contribution to society. I really want to be grateful. I want to appreciate you so kindness and to the organizer as well. My question have to do with the any plan of additional trainings opportunities like this so that we can be able to come against and learn new things to expand our knowledge to be a good leaders, to be able to contribute positively to the growth and development of our countries, our societies, and the world at large.
I didn't hear your question, sir. Sorry, I was busy checking the. Can you repeat your questions, please? Is it a question or is it a comment?
Are they planned for another training opportunity like such to enable us as young leaders to come again and learn some new things and great things from your experience, from your knowledge, and other great leaders who are making positive impacts to the young people's capacity building as well? If there is another training opportunities of such or in times to come, that's what I want to know.
Okay, and I think you are in the right place. You have the right questions at this time. Dr. Lawson Thompson has established this platform called Prestige Crosser Consulting Firm. And for the past few years, if I may say, or few months, he's been organizing a lot of programs. Okay, so what I will suggest you do when you join the class this evening is to repeat your questions and let him know what area that you want him to organize those programs. I will definitely come back, even though my time is so tight. But even if I have to spend 1 hour or something like that. If I'm invited, I will come and join you there, but I'm also learning. I'm on your platform. It's only that I'm so busy that I can't really say something or whatever on that platform. But if you can raise that question again this evening, I believe Dr. Lonson will react to that question. Is that okay, sir? Is that okay, sir? Okay. So that's there's also so many questions on this platform, on this chat box. One of the question is, I have a question, but I'm in department meeting, but I will drop my questions. My questions goes like this. If you are a leader in an organization and you have people who are working under you, and as an employee, you have been given a target to meet, but the employee is not meeting their target, what are you to do as a leader of the organization? I think early this year, we did another section on working as a team. And that's one, we have a video of it. So if I can check my link on Y.Y.C.I TV YouTube channel, I may be able to send it to Dr. Lonson for this particular question, for that person to watch the video. But at the same time, please feel free to ask the question again this evening when our speaker will be speaking this evening on WhatsApp. But we've already done a lot of videos or teachings regarding that question, so I don't waste much of your time. Then another question is, first, let me thank President during the past days and today. I would like to ask a question, but my background is noisy, okay? So I led an organization, yet I'm really facing lots of challenges from my teammates because they don't understand the value of voluntarily. Kindly, how can I solve this challenge as a leader? I did some teaching as well for another organization. I don't know if you know about it, Optic Teacher Training in Liberia there. And I have the recording as well. So for whoever asked this question, let me see who asked this question. Adam Sheriff. Right. I can send the video again to Dr. Lonson, and I'm sure Dr. Lawson will post it on the platform for you to watch the video. And if you have more questions, you can ask during the webinar this evening. I'm sure whoever is speaking this evening be able to answer as that one as well. I'm just trying to, because we are almost to 1, which we're supposed to finish at 12. And I'm still going to travel to London to work this evening. So that is why I won't be able, because you know me, I'm passionate about answering questions. If I start answering your questions on this platform now, we'll be here till 5 o'clock and I will miss my place of work. So please, I will send those 2 videos, one about working as a team or leading the team, and the second one is also working as a volunteer, so that you can watch it and learn from it and use it to encourage and inspire your team. Is that okay? I believe so. Okay, so this is where we will finish up this program today. Thank you for all your questions. I really enjoyed it, and I believe I really enjoy all your questions. Don't mind my English. I'm also, English is also my second language. But I won't let that one be my barrier. I believe you understood me so well, how I've presented to you today, and even since Wednesday. Like I said, we have experts that can elaborate everything I've said, and I'm also an inspirational leader and teacher mentor, and advisor. Okay, on this note, I want to say thank you so much, Miss Carter. Thank you so much, Madam Patient. Thank you so much, Honorable Alfred. Thank you so much, Madam Sarah. I know you've been having the problem. I've been checking. You've been having the problem to connect since, but we still appreciate you. Eventually, you joined us. Thank you so much, Cecilia, Miss Opa. Thank you so much. And the person that refused
Thank
to
you, Prof.
change, thank you so much. And the person that refused to change their phone number to their name, I still want to appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, Gerald, thank you so much. So many people that have joined us earlier, and the person that his name or her name is M, thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, since the our
Thank you
leader,
too.
yeah, thank you so much. So I will end this program now. So I want to say thank you so much for joining us. So let's see you all this evening. And if you still want to do your assignment, please write up your assignment, submit your assignment so that the certificate you get is you earn it, you worked for it, and it is valuable. So put volume to your certificate by understanding what we've taught you, and also take action, apply it, and also answer response to the assignment given to you. On this note, I want to say thank you so much for trusting me to teach you this afternoon. May God bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless. Bye-bye.